In this video, I'll be showing you how an attacker can bypass a broken two-factor authentication using the victim username without the password. I'll be using Web Security Academic Authentication Vulnerability Lab to demonstrate this exercise. The link to the lab is provided in the description below. So let's get started. So my credentials to access the web page is winners and Peter, which is the username and password. And my victim's username is Carlos. I don't have the password, so I need to bypass the two-factor authentication to access Carlos' account. So the next step is to access the lab. So I'm going to click on this button. Before I go ahead with the process, I need to set up the proxy on the browser so that the vulnerability scanning tool BobSuit will be able to capture the HTTP traffic. In the browser, in my own case, I'm using Firefox. So I will click on More Tools, then Extension for Developer, then Find Add-on. So I'm going to type proxy, then enter. I'm going to go with the Foxy proxy recommended by the browser. So you can choose any proxy and set it up for this process. Then click on Add to Firefox, then permission to add the proxy to the Firefox, then click on Add. From the right hand side corner, you're going to see the icon for the proxy. You can click on that, then click on the option, then add, then go to the BobSuit. You can click on the proxy, then the proxy settings. So you can see the IP address, which is 127.0.0.1, which is the local host IP address, which allows this machine to communicate with itself. So I'm going to copy this 127.0.0.1 and the port number 8080 for the HTTP connection. Then go back to my browser. Then I can select my proxy type HTTP, then the proxy IP address, which is 127.0.0.1, then the port number 8080. I can set up my proxy description, which is BobSuit, then save. The proxy setup has been completed. Then we go back to the lab, then click on the Foxy proxy icon, then click on BobSuit. You want to make sure that your BobSuit is open so that the HTTP traffic can be captured. Log in into the lab, click on my account, then log in with the credential given earlier, winner and Peter, then log in. Then the application is asking for the two-factor authentication, which is the 4-digit security code. So I'm going to click on the email client, click on advanced, scroll down, accept risk and continue. Then you can see the security code has been generated. This 1455. I'll go back to the web application and enter. That's 1455. Then log in. As you can see, I have logged in into winner's account, and from this process I used to log in, I can deduce that the web application is using two separate pages for the authentication. Now the first page, which is the login, I provide the username winner and Peter to access the web application endpoint, and the application confirm the username. Then the application set the cookie to verify the username value. In my own case is the winner. So the second step of this login process, which is login to, the web browser make an HTTP GET request to the application with a verified cookie to log in into the page. Then the application generate a 4-digit security code and send it to the email of the user. So when the user submit the security code, the web application make an HTTP post request to log in to the endpoint with the verified cookie, which is the winner, and the security code sent to the winner's email. If the provided information, that is the security code, is valid and can be associated with the cookie, which is the winner's username, the web application will allow the username to access the account. During the second step of the authentication, which is login to, the application is relying on the cookie value to check the verified username that is trying to log in into the account. Now, in this case, I can go ahead and manipulate the verified cookie by changing the value into the victim username and brute force the 4-digit security code that I've already entered earlier. Then I should be able to access the target account. So I'm going to launch the BobSuit, then click on the proxy, then HTTP history. Then I can search for the login to GET request. As you can see, the cookie section is showing verified as winner. I'm going to right click in the request section, then send it to repeater. Then I'm going to go to the repeater. Then I'm going to click on the cookie section, and it has been verified as winner. So I'm going to change it to Carlos. Then I'm going to click on send. So by the time I send this, it's going to give me a response. That means it's going to create a temporary two-factor authentication for Carlos. So I'm going to go back to my web browser. Then I'm going to log out from the winner's account, then my account, then log in with the winner's username, and the password is Peter. The web application is going to request for the security code again. So I'm going to enter invalid security code 9876, then log in. So I'm going to get the incorrect security code. Then I'm going to go back to BobSuit. So I'm going to click on the proxy again, then HTTP history. Then I'm going to search for the login to post request that was sent to the endpoint. I can click on the request and I can see the MFA code and the verification section of the cookie. Then I will right click and send it to intruder. Click on the intruder. Then go to the position. Then the first thing I want to do is click on clear. Then go to the verify variable, change it from winner to Carlos. Then I'm going to come back to MFA code, click on MFA code and add. So the next step, I'm going to go to the payload tab, then click on the payload. Under the payload set, select the payload type. So I'm going to set the payload type to brute forcer. Under the payload settings, I'm going to go to the character set, then remove the characters in front of the numbers. So I'm going to leave the remaining settings the way they are. Then I'm going to start attack. The attack process has started, and due to high number of payload, it's going to take like 5 to 10 minutes for it to be completed. So I'm going to wait. So now that the process has completed, the next step is to check the result if I can find a redirected HTTP response. Then I will click on the status to sort. Then I can find a 302 status that is different from the others. So I'm going to click on this. Then open the request. Then right click. Then show response in browser. Then I can copy the URL. Open a new tab in my browser and paste the URL in the address bar. And as you can see, I was able to brute force and bypass the two-factor authentication of Carlos without having the password. Then I've logged into the Carlos account right now and the lab has been solved. I hope this is helpful. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.